Okay, so it is nighttime. I haven't taken a video in a couple days because I was staying at a friend's house here in Kenosha with her and her family, hanging out with the kids for like a day and a half, really like 2 days, I guess. And yeah, I mean, when I'm doing stuff with people, I want to be able to like dedicate my energy to that and not like, I don't know, I'm still trying to find a balance about things. I'm in a weird mood right now. But I realize that like I still need to keep up on this stuff and I haven't. So I also was thinking as I was walking that I need to get at least a clip of the fact that like this is how I'm getting places, because most people seem to be under the impression that I'm like just hitching rides, or they don't realize that I'm on foot. I'm on foot. I have everything I own on me. At this point, I mean, I left everything behind, so including my dog, which is just fucking heartbreaking all the time. But I had to get out of where I was. I had to get out of the cycle that I was finding myself in. So I'm in a far better place, but it hits, sometimes. But yeah, I wanted to show that I'm walking. So I have this is my bag with all my art stuff. This is my backpack. I know in a couple of the first videos, as I was sleeping in a field, I pointed that out, but I also wanted proof that like this is actually how I'm living. This is how I'm getting around. I'm just taking things moment by moment. As I said that, I noticed this. So we're gonna keep that in mind. Taking things moment by moment. I can't, it's not for me to say, what the future holds in different ways. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm on the right path. And what that means for me right now is I'm kind of fumbling around is, to be able to just really assess what's directly in front of me and get my bearings about it. I was at McDonald's earlier for a while using the Wi-Fi. Anytime that I usually try to go between like McDonald's or Walmart, places that have Wi-Fi and that tend to be open for extended periods of time. But I also try to be a patron of some sort when I'm in those places, so that I'm not just loitering. That's something that's important. So like the only downfall about those places is that you generally end up having to spend at least a little money whenever you're there. So I got a coffee and some fries over the course of some time. And then I left when they closed the lobby and figured I would just head kind of out of town, because that's where there's a 24-hour grocery that's just out of town. And I figured if I headed there, that'd probably be my safest bet to find a safe place to take a little nap. So I started heading that way after I left McDonald's. And within a mile of walking, was just like absolutely overcome with the need to pee, which, normally I can hold it for extended periods of time. There's quite a warning and I have the capacity to hold it, but for some reason I suddenly just couldn't. I rushed behind this abandoned Burger King to try to get somewhere where there weren't vehicles and people actively like bright lights and shit, so I could pee. I ended up peeing my fucking pants, which is great, top notch. So I mean, thankfully I have clean clothes and was able to change, but now my dirty piss pants are in my bag. I don't know when I'll get the chance to clean stuff, so that's fun. mean, I'm just trying to spend as little money as possible outside of like, you know, I'll need like a little bit to eat every couple of days at least. Right now I've kind of been splurging. I haven't been. I've also been staying with people, so I haven't had to, but like I said, like going to McDonald's for Wi-Fi, and if I'm there the whole day, like I end up spending a couple bucks each day, which adds up when you only have, well, I started out with like just over 100, maybe just under 200, something like that, I don't remember. And I'm already down to like fucking maybe $70. Which is fine. I'm not concerned about money, to be honest. And not just because I ask people for things, because I don't. And not just because people give me things, because they offer to. I mean, I have stayed with people the last couple days and stuff, but that's more been to catch up with friends. And I've just considered it a benefit that they're willing to, like, be generous with me. But I haven't asked for that or looked for that, and that's not, like, what I'm setting out to do by any means. You know, I'm trying to take advantage of all the walking for physical fitness. Not really having many resources for, you know, I've been wanting to fast and haven't had the discipline to for some time. So I try to take these things into account and, you know, appreciate them. I'm trying to appreciate everything, and I've been doing really, really well, even despite being really emotional today about a lot of different stuff. Which I can get into in another video, but I was managing extremely well, and I was quite proud of myself. When I pissed my pants, that kind of threw me for a loop. So I'm coming out of that right now. It put me in a weird space, so then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sleep in this fucking alley. But then I felt a couple raindrops, and now I see that it's lightning. And I looked on my radar, and it said that there's supposed to be a super quick but very wet storm moving in the next, like, hour or so. Seems like it's actually coming much quicker. But I figured I needed to get on the way so that I could get at least to the gas station up here, chill for a while. I might end up just napping there at the Quick Trip because they're open 24 hours. And they have like little tables with charging stations, so I can plug my phone in and take a little nap. Generally, you know, I can take naps during the day, basically anywhere. I try not to be rude. I try not to sleep places where, like, people are, because it's kind of, well, one, because I can't fucking do it, but also, like, I feel like it's kind of, like, it makes people uncomfortable. It's kind of rude. Like, I get when you're homeless, like, I don't know, I think a lot of people just stop caring, and they almost, like, hope that people seeing them in those positions, they'll help out, but I'm not like that, and I don't intend to be honest. You know, I want to do things a little different if I can, and kind of push through some things, and, you know, show the importance of certain sacrifices and stuff like that. Because that's a big thing for me. You know, my life, like, has definitely never been perfect. I've generally had to learn through opposition, but I found that to be, like, extremely strengthening in ways that just pure support hasn't been. And, you know, as I get older, I'm starting to find that, like, support is so essential, and I've really missed out having lacked that. But at the same time, it's definitely not everything. And I've learned, you know, so I would say it's so weird. I learned so much of my self-actualization in the midst of active trauma, but I wasn't, like, aware of that. Like, I literally learned all of these skills in the past, but I wasn't aware of them or awakened to them or like comfortable accepting them up until I created a space for myself to feel safe. And, you know, I'm out here like, you know, I hate Kenosha. I love the people of Kenosha, but like I hate the system of Kenosha. I hate the politics. I hate the fucking police here. I'm generally pretty. I'm not, because I don't let people have the best of me, but like I do get intimidated about Kenosha just because like it's not necessarily a safe place to be, as safe as it seems, or as like picturesque or whatever. I mean, it's none of those things really. Anybody that lives in Kenosha knows what I mean, but like, well, anybody who actually lives in Kenosha, there's a lot of people that have money that have always lived in Kenosha, but they don't really get what Kenosha's really like, you know, or what it's like on the actual streets of Kenosha. It's dangerous. You know, it's not. So, I mean, it just is what it is, but like, it's not ideal being here, but at the same time, it kind of is, because like, I do know this city, and being in this position to learn how to work through these fears, like, this is probably the best place to do it, especially as I make my way towards Chicago. So, you know, I'm coming into the awareness of just, I mean, I was already in it, but it's always just like, you know, all these little things add up and remind me how difficult things can be, even when I have the best attitude, which is fine. You know, it's real life. Like, one of the hardest things about being out like this is fucking going to the bathroom, because it's so difficult. I mean, most people don't like going in public restrooms to begin with, but like finding public restrooms when you're just out and about is another thing. Finding restrooms in time when you have to go to the bathroom is particularly difficult. And yeah, it's all just, you know, it's just, these are the extremely basic issues that you deal with, like, that don't even, like, it's just how it is. So it is important to me that I share these things, even though it's embarrassing and like not fun. It's real, and like my whole thing is like, yeah, okay, so I actively chose this time because I'm trying to prove a point, but like, there's so many fucking people, not just in this, not in this position even, like so much worse, because they're not in a clarity of mind. You know, they don't feel safe enough themselves. They're not confident. They ended up in a bad situation that they feel like they can't control, and all of these things just add to the suffering. I've been privileged to have spent so many times living out of my car, not having money, being, you know, just struggling to be able to like see things this way and be in the state that I'm in. And I want to be able to offer that to people. Like, my life is like fucking nothing, to be honest. Like, it would mean nothing if all I did was just experience things for the sake of me experiencing them. Like, not that that isn't enough, and it's valid for me in my own day-to-day, but like, when it comes to how much space I've taken up and how much energy I've used in this life, wasted, like, I feel very like responsible for adding better to this reality. And it would just seem like it wasn't even worth my experiences if I weren't able to use them to help someone else. Like, well, I mean, yeah, it's good for me to learn how to survive, but what is survival like just for me? I mean, eventually I'm gonna fade away, and there's still gonna be so many people dealing with this shit. So like, I don't know. I just want to be able to put myself to the best use I can. And I know this is a weird way to go about it. But this is my life. And these are the choices I've felt led to make. So I'm coming up to the gas station now. I'm gonna upload this, chill out a bit, and probably make another video a little bit later. I don't know for sure, but I'll definitely make one tomorrow at least. All right, have a good night.